Hello, hello. What is this saying to me? Okay, sorry. I don't know. It was just like acting weird. Hello. I had like a weird message on my streaming thing. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Happy weekly spirit boost. I'm Tammy Masterbirdy, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You and the newest book, The Higher Help Method. And I teach people how to tap into the higher helpline of the universe using simple spiritual tools. And today I am here to talk about joy. If you've followed my weekly spirit boosts, you know that I tell you every week, I tell you guys, please do something that brings you joy on the weekend. And this is a topic that actually has been coming up a little bit. I've been doing a lot of podcast interviews and television interviews to promote the higher help method. And it's just been a topic everybody is sort of interested in and asking me about around how can I infuse joy into everything that I'm doing, or how can I bring more joy into everything that I'm doing? So I thought this would be, and somebody literally just asked me again yesterday. I did a podcast. I want to say it's coming out in 2 weeks, about happiness, and ended the podcast with the question. So I was like, okay, I definitely need to talk about this. I think this is important on so many levels. So we're going to get into it and as to why it's important and how to do it. Before I do that, I just have to throw out a reminder to all of you that my annual pendulum class, Unlock the Secrets of the Pendulum, doors are open now. So you can register. All of the free pendulums are gone. You guys went nuts and they were gone in 24 hours. I actually added more and even those were gone. However, you don't even need a pendulum to take the class. You can get one anywhere, Amazon, Etsy, by July 31st. But you can use a necklace with a pendant on it. You can use a wet tea bag to take the class. You don't have to actually have a pendulum, but again, you have plenty of time to get one. And they're not that expensive. So I'm just excited about that class. And it's linked below in YouTube and Facebook. And I'm going to be adding it onto Instagram as well, because I know you guys like access to the link easily. But it's happening live July 31st. It's a 90-minute class. We go way beyond getting your yes and no. I literally teach you how to find and clear limiting beliefs, find and clear blocks in the chakra system, how to test makeup, food, drink, household cleaning products for toxins or allergens, or just what's right for your body, and so much more. I teach you how to blind test if you're emotionally attached to something. I teach you how to do it for yourself. I even do it for my pets. So it's just my favorite class in the world. And I only teach it live and it only happens once a year. So see the link below on YouTube and Facebook. It's July 31st, 6 p.m. Yes, you get the replay. And Instagram, I will add it. Okay, so let's get into today's topic, because last time I totally forgot to mention that the doors were opening until the end of the weekly spirit boost. What is that? Trying to fix my microphone. Okay, so let's get into the topic. So everybody keeps asking me about this whole joy thing. I have to move this blanket because it is hot in my office and it's making me hotter. Everybody keeps asking me about it. So first of all, why do we want to infuse joy into everything that we're doing? Well, we all have things, I think, in life that are on our to-do list, or responsibilities, or things that we do maybe on a daily basis, maybe on a weekly basis. Thank you for liking live. You guys are the best. I always forget to mention it, but please, if you like me and what I'm saying, hit the like button, because it is helpful and it just lets me know you're out there and you like what I'm saying. So we all have stuff, right? That it's like, oh God, I have to do the laundry. Or, oh my gosh, I hate going grocery shopping. Or, oh God, my commute to work is an hour and it's really draining me. Whatever it might be. We all have things, cooking, cleaning. The list goes on, that we all have things that we don't love to do. And so sometimes we procrastinate, we wind up not doing them, and then things get overwhelming, or we don't like them and we go through them miserably. And there's a way around that, right? Why do we care? Because number one, you want to feel good. You want to feel good because you want to feel good, but you also want to raise your vibration. You want to make sure that you're in the flow of all wonderful things coming to you. You want to make sure that you are at a higher level or a higher vibration so that you're noticing the subtle signs from the universe, the subtle synchronicities, overhearing the conversation, right? You don't want to miss the communications coming in, especially if you're using the higher help method and you're asking the universe for help. You know that the universe responds and answers you, and you don't want to miss those answers. So that's another reason why you want to infuse joy into everything. So I have a simple process on how to do it. I came up with this process years ago when it was, I think it was like the end of the year, like December. I was planning things for the next year for work. And so I came up with the process for work to see, what do I want to keep doing? What do I like? What don't I like? What can I hire someone for? What can I stop doing altogether, etc. Or how can I just enjoy this more? And then I thought, oh no, I need to do this for my personal life as well. So it became my infuse it with joy exercise. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. So, yes, I like to do it at the end of the year because you're kind of going into that fresh energy, but you can do it at any time. So, right now, I'm sure there are people out there that have things that they don't like to do. I'm sure there are people listening to this that are like, oh my gosh, yes, I hate grocery shopping, or I hate having to fold the laundry. I don't mind washing it, but I can't stand folding it, right? Or I'm not a cook, whatever. And so here's what I want you to do. And you can do this separately for work as well as personal. But we're going to just talk personal here. So I want you to make a list of everything that you do. Just start daily and maybe weekly, right? What is everything that you do? Maybe you make yourself breakfast. You get up in the morning, you take a shower. You have to get the kids to school. You have to get yourself to work. You have to, cook dinner. All the different things, whatever you sort of do on a daily basis, not whether you like it or not, just everything that you do, everything that you have to do. Then I want you to look at weekly. So maybe you do laundry weekly. Maybe you do it daily. God bless if you do. Maybe you do it weekly. Maybe you do a weekly grocery shopping. Maybe you do a weekly visit to a parent or a friend or something like that, or maybe you're caring for an elder parent or something, and so you check in with them on the weekends. I know a lot of people who do that. So think about the things that you do daily and weekly and just make a list of all the things that you do. That's it. That's the first step. Then I want you to take that list and I want you to go through the list and I want you to ask yourself each item, do I enjoy doing this? Does this bring me joy? If you're like, well, I don't enjoy doing it, but it's not horrible. You can just, you can cross it off, basically. Cross it off if you don't mind doing it. You're kind of neutral about it. It doesn't make you miserable or make an unhappy experience, right? You can kind of cross those off. The things that you get to that you're like, oh, if I had $1 million, I wouldn't do this ever again, right? I would get somebody else to do it, or I just wouldn't do it. Anything that you don't enjoy, that you procrastinate on, that you're like, oh, this is just not my favorite thing to do, circle those, right? So anything that you don't enjoy, here's what you're going to ask yourself. This is how you're going to infuse it with joy. Number one, you're going to ask yourself, can I delete this? Can I delete this from my list? Can I stop doing this in some way? Do I have to do this? Is it a necessity, right? Or am I just doing it because I think I have to do it? Whatever it might be. And if the answer is yes, problem solved. You stop doing it. If the answer is no, you are then going to ask yourself, okay, can I delegate this in some way? If I can't delete it, can I delegate it in some way? What does that mean? That means, can I get someone else to do it? Like maybe your husband or your kids or something like that. Is there someone else I can give this responsibility to? Or could I hire someone to do it? So let's say you are like, "Oh, I hate going to the grocery store on the weekends. It's so crowded. Everybody's crazy. I would rather be doing something else with my time." Well, can you order your groceries online and have them delivered, and then you pay a little extra money, but it's worth you getting that time back and not having to go. That's what I mean about hiring someone. If you can't stand cleaning your house, can I hire a team or someone to come in maybe every 2 weeks and do it? Can I try to budget for that? Because then again, I don't have to do it. So can I delete it and can I delegate it? Those are your first things. Then if you can't delete it, you've got to do it. You can't delegate it, you don't have the funds, you don't want to spend the money, there's nobody else that's gonna take it on, that's when you have to elevate it. So if you can't delete it and you can't delegate it, you have to elevate it. How do you elevate it? You ask yourself, "Okay, how can I bring more joy to this activity? How can I bring more joy and infuse this activity with joy so that it doesn't dip my vibration down, so that it still brings me joy, so that I still enjoy doing it and it kind of is not as annoying or procrastination warranting." So, for example, let's say you have a long commute to work. Can you listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts, don't watch while you're driving, but I will do this oftentimes. I will listen to YouTube videos. My phone's on the console, but I'll be listening to YouTube videos of people that I like while I'm driving. And that I did that recently. I met my sister at the Jersey Shore, and it was about like an hour and 20-minute drive for me. And I literally listened to this YouTube video that was over an hour, and before I knew it, I was there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best idea that I ever had. Why didn't I think of this before?" So, can you do that? Even if you don't like grocery shopping, can you put an AirPod or headphones in? I do this sometimes when I'm wanting to listen to something. I'll just put one in, have my phone with me because I have my list on my phone when I'm grocery shopping anyway. And I will listen to something while I'm grocery shopping. So, is that an option for you? If you can't stand folding laundry, can you do all the laundry, have all the baskets, and then binge watch a show on one of your favorite streaming devices while you're folding the laundry, right? It's these simple little things that you wouldn't think would make something more enjoyable, but it actually does make it a little bit more enjoyable. You can also, as an alternative, reward yourself afterwards. I love rewarding myself. Sometimes I think of things that I want and I'm like, "Oh, when I achieve this or when I get through this, I'm getting that." Okay? That is another sort of motivating factor or way to bring joy into something that you're doing, because now I'm going to be rewarded at the end of it. It can be a Starbucks latte. I don't care what it is, right? But it sort of infuses joy into that task because at the end of that task you're going to get something out of it, whatever it might be. It could be that you're going to go for a walk and you love walking in nature. It could be that you're going to go and spend an hour gardening, but you just have to finish this thing. That's another way to do it, but it's about being conscious, right? Everything in this spiritual life is so about bringing consciousness to things, especially when you are trying to what's the word I'm looking for? When you're trying to change things in your life and you're trying to communicate with the universe and you're trying to open yourself up, right? It's about being conscious of what you're saying, right? The whole higher help method basically makes everything that you're doing conscious. There's conscious focused gratitude. There's conscious asking. It's about not allowing the subconscious to rule, because often the subconscious is filled with limitations and negativity, old patterns, old habits. We want to create consciousness. This activity is really about bringing consciousness to your everyday or your weekly life. So everything that you do, just ask yourself, gosh, how can I enjoy doing this a little bit more? How can I look forward to doing this a little bit more? And then finding those little ways to do it. So again, if you can't delete it and you can't delegate it, you're going to elevate it and or give yourself a reward for doing it. I did this. It all started with work for me. Now, you don't even have to be an entrepreneur to do this exercise. You can still look at, a company that you work for and how can I bring more joy to my daily tasks, right? But it spilled into personal because I thought, "Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I think we all do on a daily basis that bring our energy down, that we don't look forward to, that we don't wanna do." Like, even the recycling, like, my husband and I, like, I have to say he usually does it, but I've gotten better with, like, the boxes and having to break down the cardboard. Oh my god, it's so annoying, and I've, like, gotten to the point where now when I get a box, I'll break it down at least till it's flat, but it starts to pile up and it's like, "Oh, I have to go deal with the recycling now," or, because we have to take it out and it has to all fit. Our town is like, it has to fit into these containers that they give you, and, like, so you have to chop it up so that it fits into this container. It's not even enough just to flatten it sometimes. So that's just an example of, it's like, "Oh my god, do I really wanna do this?" I will literally listen to something while I'm doing that, right? Like, I just find ways to bring a little bit of joy to any task that I am doing. And it's easier than we think. And we all have them. We all have those things that we're doing that kind of suck our energy down or drain us or stress us out. And if we just get a little conscious about it, it can boost our vibration. So now, instead of dipping down into this lower energy or this procrastination energy or this stress energy or this is, oh, I don't really want to do this energy. Now we're bringing excitement and joy and we're looking forward to it. My gosh, I can't wait to hear what's next in this audiobook when I drive my hour drive to work or whatever it might be. You're sort of bringing a different energy to it. Now you are more in flow. Now you are more open to the signs and the synchronicities that are coming to you and the information that is coming to you and the answers that you've asked for, right? So, that's what I mean by infusing things with joy and why it is important. And it's funny because the podcast interview that I did yesterday, I think it's called The Happiness Process or something like that, but it'll be out in a couple of weeks. I'll post it. I always forget to post it. But at the end of the interview, she'd asked me about it, and so I was talking a little bit about this process, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so funny that you say that," because there was something with her and, like, she hated cooking, but she was cooking because she's like, "I have kids, I have to feed them, I really need to do it." She's like, "But I just hated it." And then through a conversation, remember I talked about delegating, through a conversation with her husband, she found out he actually loves to cook. She's like, "How did I not know that you love to cook?" So, guess who does the cooking now? And now she doesn't have to do that, and that's not sucking her energy down anymore, right? So, it was just so funny that she said that because I'm like, "Exactly. Can I stop doing it? Can I delegate it?" Even if you can't hand it over, let's say you can't completely hand something over to someone, but maybe you can get assistance with it. Maybe your husband can help you fold his laundry. Maybe your children can be responsible for certain things in the house that you've been doing. There's so many different ways to look at it and to try and figure it out, but it really is so important to manage your energy. And the third step in the higher help method is shifting your energy. And anytime you sort of dip down, you want to try and boost yourself back up and boost that vibration back up and shift our mindset. And if we can consciously and intentionally plan joy, if we can intentionally infuse those everyday tasks, especially the ones that we don't like, if we can intentionally infuse them with more joy, it's like half the battle of managing your energy because you've pre-planned for it, right? And so it's just a little tip and a little trick that, again, almost everything that I do, I create for myself because I am struggling with something. And so this I created just again for my business because I was like, oh, there's things that I just don't enjoy doing. This was years ago. Like, what can I stop doing? Or what can I hire someone to do? Or how can I just enjoy this process more off? And then I said, oh no, I have to do this in everything. Like, everybody should be doing this with everything because we should be enjoying our lives, right? We shouldn't just be doing things that we have to do all the time and suffering through them. There are things we have to do, but if we can bring in some joy to that, why not do it, right? Why not try it? And so that's when I came up with this, and I believe I have the full exercise in my first book, if I remember correctly, because it's been years. But I think it's in The Universe is Talking to You, about infusing things with joy, again, just to boost your own vibration. So I wanted to share that because I always like to come on here and share things that have been popping up for me. And I think it's something that we can all benefit from. So hopefully that's helpful to you. If you're not a Virgo-ish person, which I am very much a Virgo and a very much a planner, if you're like, oh, Tammy, I don't want to sit down and write a whole list out, here's a shortcut. I got a shortcut for you. Whenever you go to do something that you're like, oh God, I don't want to do it, stop and ask yourself, what can I do to bring more joy to this? In the moment, what can I do to bring more joy to this? What can I do to make this not so I don't want to do it energy? What can I do to make this process more enjoyable? I have to clean the house. How can I enjoy the cleaning process a little bit more? What can I do? What can I listen to? And how can I reward myself afterwards if you're going to actually do it? And again, ask yourself, do I really need to be doing this, or can I delegate this? Just go one thing at a time. If you're not a write it all down planning person, just go through your day one thing at a time, and all of the things that you don't like, stop and ask yourself, how can I bring more joy to this? How can I make this less miserable? And that will work as well. And I promise you, there will be probably things for the rest of the day today, after whenever you're watching this, as you're going through the rest of your day, there's going to be something that pops up that you don't want to do. Ask yourself, how can I bring more joy to this? How can I make this less miserable? And or how can I reward myself for doing it? Whatever that may be, whatever reward you want to give yourself, how can I do it? Again, it can be giving yourself an hour to do something that you want to do. It doesn't have to be monetarily rewarding yourself. But I do like to buy myself gifts. I'm just saying. So sometimes I will plan out, like I said, like, oh, if I get through this, or I figure this out, or I do really well in this thing, I'm getting myself X, Y, and Z. It's a helpful situation. But post your questions. I'm going to answer some questions now. And again, as a reminder, don't forget the pendulum class is coming up. I'm so excited about it. I love this class, and I love teaching it every year. And those of you who have taken the class, I know that you love it as well. And I have some people that, come back year after year and just kind of hang and practice. And it's very experimental. I don't want you to take 75,000 notes and not like be in the class having fun. So you get a full workbook with all the details on how to do everything that I'm going to be demonstrating, so that you can just play around with your pendulum or your necklace with a pendant or wet tea bag, whatever you're using. But it's a lot of fun. Okay. So let me uh check the emails. Oh, there's a couple, I mean, not the emails, the comments. There's a couple people saying, asking if my no, I sent out like multiple emails, and I think I told you guys, if you're a member, don't buy, don't buy. So I just want to answer that. Tanya says, the first sip of my coffee in the morning brings me immense joy. I feel you. That's so true for so many people. I used to feel the same way. I used to drink coffee, and then I started having like allergic issues. And unfortunately, I had to stop drinking it, and I literally miss it every day. And my husband drinks it in front of me, and I smell it, and I want it. So I feel you on that. Someday I'm going to get back to coffee. Let's see. Marianne Paul says, I have a sewing machine and everyone in my family wants me to do the repairs. Oh, I hear you. I hear you on that. Recently, I realized I don't enjoy sewing. That's hysterical. So now I'm taking repairs to this lovely woman who does alterations. Yay. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, just because, and let's say you decided I don't want to take it to an alteration. There would still be ways of infusing joy into what you were doing, but I love that you delegated that task because it's not something that you enjoy. We have 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Why are we wasting time doing things that suck our energy down without trying to infuse joy into it? Or finding an alternative like you did is exactly my point. And I promise you, everybody out there has one or two things that you're probably already thinking of in your head that you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I don't like to do, and I need to figure that out quick, because we all have them. We all have things that suck our energy down. Okay, so hold on. Bevan said, I lost my pendulum. Where can I get another one? For the you mean the pendulum that you got from me? I don't offer them separately. I literally just have enough that I send out every year, that I give as part of the free giveaway. But you can get a pendulum on Amazon. You can get a pendulum on Etsy. You can go to Margaret Ann Lembo has an amazing website and store in Florida. It's called the Crystal Garden. She sells amazing pendulums there. So you can get them anywhere. Like I said, they're available all over, and you can also, use a necklace with a pendant on it, and that becomes a pendulum. I mean, back in the day, do you remember hearing about like how people used to use a needle and a thread like over a pregnant woman's belly to see if she was having a boy or a girl? Like, I remember hearing things about that. Like, even a needle and thread technically is a pendulum. I mean, using pendulums goes back many years. So yeah, there's so many different things you can do or use. But it's just such a fun class, and I use my pendulum all the time. I use it for myself, I use it for other people, I use it for friends, and if I have to check things for my pets, like the right food for my pet, or if I want to give my pet a certain supplement or something like that. Over, in the past, I don't really, my cats are young right now, so I don't really give them too much, but in the past I've had pets where I needed to give different supplements and things like that. And so I use it for everything, and I just love it. I love it. It's my favorite tool in the world. And of course, I use it. I mean, I use it in my one-on-one client sessions when I'm doing intuitive work with you guys to find your limiting beliefs. I get the belief, and then I muscle test it with the pendulum if I'm correct. Like, I just use it all the time. So yeah, That's the story. And then, oh, for the giveaway for the member, those in my Higher Helpline membership community, I'm giving away pendulums to them, also 10 people. So, so we basically, I'm going to give you to the end of the month because that's usually what we do. We have monthly giveaways in my membership community every month. It looks like Marianne was asking about it. And we have, so I always give you to the end of the month to enter, and then we'll get them out to you, but I'm giving away 10 of them in the membership. Because that's usually what I do every July is you guys get access to, I put 10 aside just for you guys. And so I will announce the winners um the beginning of August. Yeah, like I usually do, because like I said, we have monthly giveaways. Okay, so let me make sure I'm not missing any. Yes, Susanna said you can get pendulums at gem shows, new age stores. I mean, you can get them everywhere. But if you're in a pinch and you're like, "Oh, I really want to try and find one that I like," Amazon has them, Etsy has them. That's why I said the Crystal Garden. It's like an online crystal store. There's another online crystal store that I like, Sage Goddess. I think they have pendulums as well. And you can get any style you like, any, it doesn't even have to be a gemstone. I'm just a crystal nut job. So, I like the gemstone pendulums. And the ones that I give away are amethyst because I'm also an amethyst nut job. But it can be anything. It really can be anything. There's metal pendulums, there are glass pendulums, there are a variety of colors. Some of them have like crystals going. I mean, it's just there's so many options. Buy one that resonates with you. Buy one that you think is beautiful and that you want to work with. Because you can use anything. Like I said, you can use a wet tea bag and it will work as a pendulum. But yeah, you can get them all over the place. And I actually have multiple in my house. I have them in my desk drawer here. I have them in my nightstand upstairs. I usually keep one or more in my kitchen. I have them everywhere because I use them for a host of different things. And I have, family members. I've taught family members. I taught my well, she's 19 now. My 19-year-old niece took the pendulum class last year, and she's just like loves it and is constantly using it. And sometimes she'll call me to double check things or whatever, but anybody can learn to use it. I taught my husband how to use it. He doesn't use it as often. He usually tells me, "Can you check blah blah blah?" But he could use it because I taught. So in the class, I'm going to teach people how to find blocks in the chakra system and then clear them. And I use a pendulum for that. And so I taught him how to check me, and then I would check him. But he was able to just pick it up and quickly, figure out how to check my chakras. And I taught him how to clear. It's a very simple method to do it. And I taught him that years ago when we were first dating. And he was like, "This is the craziest thing ever." Like he just thought it was so cool to see like which way the pendulum swings as to what's blocked and not. And then when you do the clearing and you go back, it swings in the right direction, and he was like blown away. So that's just one of the things. There's so many different things you can do with the pendulum. And this class is really just like it's in depth, but there's even more that you can get into. And I always say, like, I keep thinking about teaching an advanced pendulum class for the people that have taken my first one. I probably will do that at some point. But you really get so much more than just like figuring out a yes or no, because there's so many different techniques that you can do and use a pendulum for. And like I said, my 19-year-old niece does it now. My husband has learned to do it. Um, so it's something that really anybody can do. And then once you take the class and sort of know some of the techniques, you can even share it with other people. So anyway, okay, I've been on here enough talking and chatting forever. So I thank you all for being here. I really hope that this, since I end every weekly Spirit Boost telling you to do something that brings you joy this weekend, I hope that you will start thinking as you're going through your day, at least, what can I do to bring more joy to whatever task this is? What can I do to bring more joy to, um, you know, this thing that I'm going to do right now, or this thing that I know that I have to do this weekend, or whatever it is. You can even make a list of things that you enjoy and then pluck from that list what would fit into your day. So, or as a reward, right? So I hope that you will start taking that into your daily life more. But again, of course, this weekend, be sure to do something just for you, even if it's just an hour, even if it's 5 minutes. I don't care. But take time this weekend at some point to intentionally do something that brings you joy, because it raises your vibration. It puts you in alignment with the signs and the answers and the guidance that is coming through. It will make you feel good, and you deserve it. So I thank you all for being here with me, and I will be back here again next Thursday at noon Eastern, and I think we are having a special guest. I'm going to confirm it. Those of you who are on my Facebook page, I'm actually going to post the link early so you will see who it is. Very excited about it. It's going to be so much fun. You do not want to miss it. So make sure you're back here next Thursday and checking either Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Well, Instagram, I won't be live with this person, but I will post it afterwards. And I'm very excited about it. I've been planning it for a while. So stay tuned for that. Check out the pendulum class if you want to join. Again, the doors are open, and it is July 31st is the actual class. And if you have any questions, you can email support@elevatedexistence.com, and Mary Jane can help you. And thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next week with my special guest, hopefully. Bye.